Shalu, thanks for being with us today.
Greg, it's a pleasure to be with you again, as always.
Tiziana today announced details and timelines for the spinoff of Life Sciences. Could you please discuss what technology will be spun off with this new company?
Sure, I will, but please allow me for a few seconds because I want to make a statement here that the purpose of this press release is to update investors and people in a timely fashion. So as soon as this process was completed and paperwork was completed about spinning off StemPrintER Biosciences from Tiziana Life Sciences, we did that this morning. So this is about, we reported in ASCO. ASCO is American Society of Clinical Oncology. The clinical data, keep in mind, this trial was done in 3,200 patients. Side-by-side comparison of our technology with Oncotype DX. Oncotype DX is a market leader. This technology was developed by Genome Health. Exact Sciences acquired the technology for $2.8 billion. So we believe spinning this company out will maximize this value, and that we publicly announced. Today, this morning, we announced the details of this spinning off of this company. So what it is that, and I think this is a significant opportunity for existing shareholders of Tiziana Life Sciences, that each share of Tiziana Life Sciences will get one share of new company, pari passu, which is significant opportunity. And just to tell you that a very influential analyst came up with initial report, and according to him, the market cap of Life Sciences is going to be 280 million, which is a small fraction of Tiziana Life Sciences pipeline. So therefore, our stock, I believe, is highly undervalued.
Shalu, when will this transaction be completed, and can you provide anticipated timelines?
Absolutely, Craig. So as we reported early this morning in the press release, that we have to take approval from all existing shareholders, and that general meeting is on October 2nd. After the approval from the shareholders, then all the paperwork would be done, and I'm hoping that sometime end of October or first week of November, we will be able to go for public listing of this company. Our objective is to go for listing in London Stock Exchange first, and we are also trying for dual listing in NASDAQ if possible.
Shalu, Tiziana also announced starting a trial in Brazil for treatment of COVID-19 patients with Foralumab, either alone or in combination with dexamethasone. Can you provide more details about this new trial?
Absolutely. And just to clarify for your audience, that this is Foralumab is totally separate from the other antibody that we are developing for COVID-19, which is TLSA. TLSA will be given inhalation administration. Foralumab, we had already reported phase 1 clinical data a few months ago. And what we found in that clinical data, that when antibody is given through nasal administration, it upregulates T regulatory cells, so Tregs. So Tregs are in a way body defenders, which are depleted. So our approach is to strengthen body defense. And let the body defense fight with the disease. Something else that has been published recently is that in COVID-19 patients, there is depletion of Tregs. And these patients have compromised immune system, which makes sense because majority of COVID-19 patients remain asymptomatic. Patients who develop the severe disease have compromised immune system. So we believe there is an opportunity for Foralumab based on whatever we've already reported that it could work. So here the approach is slightly different in the sense Foralumab we are giving through nasal administration. And part of the reason is that this virus passes through nasal tract and respiratory tract. And if we are able to provide drug to nasal and respiratory tract, then it should work better. One concept that in our technology, which is common, is that our goal is to administer antibody in such a way that it can have local effect. So for example, oral Foralumab for Crohn disease, which is the inflammation in gut, nasal for neurodegenerative disease, which is multiple sclerosis, and COVID-19. We have TLSA 501 through inhalation, and nasal to make sure that it covers all nasal tract and respiratory. Another aspect of our technology in Brazil study is to use dexamethasone. Now, you know, dexamethasone has been used for COVID-19 patients. It's given orally. But our purpose is because dexamethasone also suppresses inflammation. And the severe patients of COVID-19, there is already so much of inflammation, which prevents upregulation of Tregs. So what we are doing is we are priming these patients with dexamethasone only for 3 days, oral administration, such that the inflammation is suppressed and therefore the stimulation of Tregs is optimal. And that is what we are doing. So in this trial, what we are looking for is number one, whether Foralumab upregulates Tregs and provide the clinical benefit. Number two, whether dexamethasone potentiates the effect of Foralumab.
Shailu, can you provide a little more color on how this trial is different from the clinical study that Tiziana announced earlier on inhalation administration of TZLS 501, that's the anti-IL-6 in COVID-19 patients?
So Craig, based on my scientific belief that COVID-19 disease is because of number one, excessive level of IL-6 produced in lungs. Number two, the immune system is dysregulated. So in TZLS 501 study, we are using this antibody TZLS 501, which depletes circulating level of IL-6. And that is to take care of depletion of IL-6 in lungs, such that it can provide immediate relief to COVID-19 patients. Right. The other portion of this is that because immune system is so dysregulated in patients who develop the disease, our approach is also strengthen the immune system such that patient can fight with the disease. And that makes a lot of sense. So in a way, our approach is two-pronged. Number one, to deplete IL-6 with TZLS 501. Number two, to strengthen immune system. And I believe that both of these are very important. This is because Foralumab, we have already shown data in phase 1. So it is more advanced product. And so we could finish this trial pretty soon. And that way we can cover both of these two-pronged approach.
Shailu, how many patients are going to be evaluated in this trial?
So, good question, Craig. So right now I'm looking at 46 patients. But it all depends on the availability of patients. And our goal is to make sure that we can finish this trial very soon and start very soon.
Now, when do you expect to report the clinical data from this study in Brazil?
Yes, so all clinical protocols and agreements and are already in place. And right now I'm trying to complete the paperwork to export Foralumab from US to Brazil. And believe me, it required a lot of work, but I think I have taken care of it. So we should hopefully start this trial in a few weeks from now. For sure, we will be able to report data by the end of this year, possibly before the Christmas.
Exciting developments, Shailu. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, Craig.